What is your American dream?
My American dream right now is for equality, especially for black women in America. Flint, Michigan hasn't had water in 4 years, and that should be something that is focused on now.
My American dream is getting out of student debt and making sure that no generation has to endure this crippling debt like the millennials have. I'm tired of it. I want to be able to own a home. That's my American dream.
I want to live in a place where everybody's equal. That's it. That's the promise of this country, is that we could all be equal, that nobody is above anybody else. That's my American dream.
The American dream is the everyone, regardless the race, the religion, the ideology, we can sit at the same tables and have the same opportunity to say, I'm a free man, I'm in the free world, and we have we deserve a better opportunity.
My American dream is to complete my education, meet as many people from as many different backgrounds as I can, and to eventually go back home and bring that knowledge to my small country and make people feel like they're mobile and they're able to do whatever they want, wherever they want, with no restrictions.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Well, Spar and Bernstein has been nothing but great to me throughout my trials. I mean, it's 5 years into this car accident, and they never gave up on me, never. And in everything, they fought for me, and I am so proud to tell everyone, don't even wink for a moment. It's you, Spar and Bernstein. My lawyer here, Mr. Barack, has been a cage animal. He wanted to go on trial, but thank God we settled out of court, and it was something that I'm very, very happy about. So everyone, I'm telling you, I'm not just making stories up. You have to use this law firm. Spar and Bernstein is the best, worldwide best.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The outcome of your divorce could affect you for the rest of your life. If you don't have the right attorney, you could literally be paid through the nose forever.
That's right, Brad. For example, did you know that half the money you put into your retirement during your marriage is up for grabs in your divorce? So a disagreement as to when your marriage exactly ended could cost you thousands of dollars from your hard-earned retirement fund. And let's say you bought a house together. Factors like who's paying the bills, who paid the down payment, and whether you're receiving rental income can all affect your settlement in huge ways.
If you're having family law issues, if you're having matrimonial issues, you need attorneys who are going to fight hard for you. Call the matrimonial department, the family law department here at the law offices of Spar and Bernstein.
This is an attorney advertisement. Prior results do not guarantee similar outcomes.
Hello? Have you seen my shadow?
No, but I heard you did. Come on, man. 6 more weeks. I'd rather be at the beach.
I'm sorry. We have 6 more weeks of winter. Sorry. Oh!
You're gonna steal it from me? I'm a criminal defense attorney.
But I love apples! Hello?
Hi.
Have you seen my shadow?
No, but I heard you did.
Yeah, 6 more weeks of winter.
I want to speak with Bill.
Oh, okay, I'll give him your number.
Okay.
Hello? Have you seen my shadow?
No. That's a nice apple.
Thank you. I took it from Paul Hirsch. Hey! 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 Ah! Hello, Spar Bernstein. Can I help you?
Stick to looking for your shadow. That's my job. Spar Bernstein, this is Gladys. How may I assist you?
Everyone makes me come out of my hole every year, and then I look and I usually see my shadow, and then everyone's angry at me.
I'll tell you what, Groundhog. if you stop bothering everybody here in the office, I will make sure that we wish everybody a happy Groundhog's Day on the Brad and Squeeze Show.
Okay, that's a good deal.
All right.
I like that deal.
Now go across the street and get your credit fixed.
Okay, I'm going to talk to Squeeze.
Remember, 1-800-872-7177.
Got it.
Okay.
I spoke to Squeeze, and he told me nobody listens to him.
All right. Even the Groundhog said nobody listens to Squeeze.
It's funny
Even the Groundhog says nobody listens to Squeeze. That was pretty funny, right?
That was very funny.
You like that?
Yeah,
we still have our Groundhog here, Squeeze.
Yeah, that was
here he is.
That was a good one.
Hello. Hello.
I think Jill did a magnificent
She did a good job there.
Yeah, that was I'm impressed.
So happy Groundhog's Day to everybody. It's Groundhog's Day 2018. The Groundhog came out of its hole, Squeeze, at 7:25 a.m. To the amazement of all the spectators in Puxatawney, Philadelphia. And the Groundhog said 6 more weeks of winter. While you're in Jamaica basking in the sun,
not there now.
We will be cold. There is also, by the way, there's a rival to Puxatawney Phil, which I didn't even know. Okay, there's Puxatawney Phil, and they're out in Pennsylvania. Okay, there's a rival. It's called Staten Island Chuck.
Staten Island Chuck.
Staten Island Chuck. He also came out and said 6 weeks left of summer. Of winter. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Where is your head?
Yes. And by the way, let me tell you a little bit about Puxatawney Phil is the only true weather forecasting groundhog. The others are all imposters. That's what he says. Okay? And on February 2nd, Phil comes out of his burrow on Gobbler's Knob in front of thousands of faithful followers from all over the world to predict how many more weeks. You know where this originated from? I actually learned about that today. Germany. And it was brought over from the German immigrants who came here to the United States. Did you ever see that movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray?
Yes.
Right? And Caddyshack with
yes.
First of all, Bill Murray was in Groundhog's Day, where he relives the same day over and over. There's Bill Murray with the groundhog in Caddyshack. Squeeze.
It's like the same one.
It could be the same animal. Okay. I have here, believe it or not, we have Squeeze. I'm going to ask you to try them on. Whose feet are bigger? These are actually Bill Murray's shoes. We have. Don't ask me how I have these. These are Bill Murray's shoes.
How did you get them?
Don't ask me how I got them. Okay? Don't ask me how I got them, but these are Bill Murray's shoes. He wore them on David Letterman's last show. Here he is, jumping out of a cake, and these are the shoes he wore jumping out of a cake. Bill Murray's the most famous American as it pertains to Groundhog's Day, because that's his famous movie, and of course Caddyshack.
I was going to videotape you saying that.
You want me to say that again, or you want me to say that again?
I want you to say that again so I can take it.
So Jill, can you run Bill Murray coming out of the cake again?
3.
All right, these are actually
after 3.
1, 2, 3. These are actually Bill Murray's shoes that he wore jumping out of a cake on the David Letterman show. Squeeze wants to tape this for posterity. Don't ask me how I have these shoes.
I really want to know.
They were granted to me on a lease for about 2 hours, okay?
Really?
Well, I have to return them in 2 hours, but I have them, and he actually wore these shoes.
What happens if these shoes disappear now?
If these shoes disappear, Bill Murray will not have shoes to wear, okay? But we got them here at the Brad and Squeeze Show, okay? Especially for Groundhog's Day, because he's the most famous of all the actors for Groundhog's Day, because he was the weatherman in the actual movie Groundhog's Day, where he relives the same day over and over again, and he goes to the psychiatrist.
He had a pretty lady in there too.
Yeah, right. Andy McDowell, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to the psychiatrist, and he says to the psychiatrist, I'm living the same day over and over again. Can you help me? And the psychiatrist says, yes, let's make an appointment for next week. So, that's the best scene in the movie. And then of course, he was originally on Saturday Night Live, and his first movie was Caddyshack, where he's the not so smart groundskeeper, and he blows up the entire golf course trying to kill Punxsutawney Phil the gopher. So there you have it, Squeeze. It's Groundhog's Day, and you want to know what, Squeeze? Does it feel like you live the same day over and over again? You go to work, you do the Brad Squeeze Show. You feel like that a little bit?
I do feel like that.
You feel like that a little bit.
I do feel like that. And Jill, send me that clip of the groundhog. I want to post that.
Yeah. And by the way,
it's really cool.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Isn't that hilarious?
It's really cool.
Yeah. By the way, I want to thank, you know, all the people that were in the Groundhog's video that we just played. Brittany Russell, who's our new personal injury attorney, and Paul Hirsch, our criminal defense attorney. Groundhog stole the apple from Paul Hirsch. And Mary Tomasico, I hope I'm not butchering her name. She's a paralegal in the personal injury department. Matt Sullivan, personal injury attorney, and Gladys Varola. They were the only ones, Squeeze, in the entire office, because I know Jill went around and said, hey, you want to be in our Punxsutawney Phil
right. And they're
segment?
the only ones
and they were like, no, I want to be in the Punxsutawney Phil segment. So they were the only ones who agreed, so thank you very much.
They did a very good job.
They did a very good job.
I mean, I'm impressed.
Yes.
The acting was great.
Yes. And by the way, Super Bowl weekend.
Yep.
What are you doing for the Super Bowl?
Your house, man.
You didn't invite me to your party.
It's your house.
It's my house.
Yeah.
I'm not having the party?
You are having a party.
Why am I having the party? I thought usually you invite me.
Because if I come to your house, it's free food.
Yeah.
The same free food we're getting here today.
Yeah. By the way,
where's the pizza?
By the way, when you invite me, you have to let me know who's there. Okay? Last night, Squeeze calls me up. He says, Brad, I'm hanging out at this bar. You want to come over?
Yeah.
I said, all right, I'm already in bed. It's 11 o'clock. She goes, okay, fine, whatever. So then the next day he calls me. He says, by the way.
Yes.
You missed a great night. You know who I was hanging out with? I said, who? He goes, Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
I said, well, why don't you tell me you're hanging out with Magic Johnson? All I got is Bill Murray's shoes here. You're hanging out. You got a whole person. I just got a pair of shoes.
Magic Johnson was at Nobu last night.
But you don't tell me that. You don't give me that additional information to motivate me to get out of bed.
Oh, so you need additional information.
I would have motivated to get out of bed. I've never met Magic Johnson. I would have motivated to do that.
It's a big guy, man.
Yeah. So who do you like in the Super Bowl? Squeeze.
Who's in the Super Bowl again?
It's the New England Patriots. They're basically Boston.
And the Philadelphia
Eagles. And the quarterback on the New England Patriots is Tom Brady. He's 40 years old and still doing it. And there is a lot of animals on Facebook who are trying to predict the winner. Lots of animals. Seems to be a big animal thing to predict the winner. I don't know. Who do you predict? Let's get a human prediction. Who do you predict?
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I predict that the New England team is going to win. However, I want the Eagles to win.
Really?
Yeah.
I predict New England. And I'm rooting for Tom Brady only because the guy's 40 years old, and I'm like, wow, I'm only 9 years older than him. If I took one shot, I would be in a coma. How does this guy do this? You know, he's not much younger than me. Right? Can you imagine me as the quarterback?
He takes BioLife.
If I was the quarterback, you know, there would be a safety after the first play. I would just run backwards until there was a safety. Like, don't hit me.
Oh, man.
What do you want me to show, Jill? There's a hippo video? I don't know about the hippo video. What's the hippo video? Let's take a look at the hippo video. Oh, the hippo is deciding. You see, this is the Facebook animals. There's like a lot of animal shows.
Right.
And the hippo has decided. They put out the box for the Eagles and the Patriots. Right. And the hippo went and ate the Eagles box. Therefore, the hippo has predicted the Eagles as the winner. This hippo has predicted multiple winners in the last couple of years. Maybe some people think it's luck. Others think he really knows what he's doing in terms of picking winners.
Oh, boy. This stuff right here.
Squeeze.
Brad?
Yeah. All right. By the way, if you're having trouble hearing us, you won't hear me telling you this information, but maybe, because I see here there's some people say they can't hear. Other people can hear, which is bizarre. If you can't hear, and maybe what we should do, Jill, is let somebody actually say this in the comments section, because a lot of people are saying they can't hear, other people are saying they can hear. If you can't hear, you know what's a good thing to do?
What?
This always works. But they can't hear me give them this advice, but it always works. Shut off your phone and start it again. Rebooting always seems to work.
When in doubt, Control-Alt-Delete.
Yeah, I don't know why there's a whole bunch of people say they can't hear and then other people can. I don't know. Squeeze?
Maybe it's their network.
Maybe. I don't know. All right, we have 2 people on hold, Squeeze.
Okay.
And we got 96 people watching, which is a very low count. Maybe because of the volume issue. I don't know.
96.
That's it. Can you please ask people to share and let's get into our
people?
immigration show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Squeeze.
Squeeze is not talking because he figures nobody can hear anyway.
No, everybody would think it's froze. You know, I just did that just to trick everybody in the room.
And now all of a sudden everyone's like, why is my screen frozen?
But you want to know what?
You scared me when you didn't move for about a minute, 30 seconds.
No, but I tricked the operator in the room because as soon as they thought the screen was frozen, they switched to you just to say. I'm messing with her in the room.
All right. It's Friday.
Anyway, it's Friday, folks, and listen, we're doing the Brad and Squeeze show. We're going to be answering quite a few immigration questions. Do remember right now that what it is that I'd like for you to do, 1 is to call us at 1-800-529-5465 with your question. 2 is to actually post your questions on Facebook, the page Brad and Squeeze. And also, of course, ladies and gentlemen, please remember to share this live feed on your timeline and also on your friend's timeline. You will be doing us a major favor if you did that. So, Brad Squad, Team Squeeze, please do that. All right, my squeezers and my squeezettes, do that.
Oh, I like that. The squeezes and the squeezettes.
Yeah, the squeezes are the men.
Yeah.
And
do you want to switch? So you have a team squeeze, but then they have roles.
Yeah, they have roles. Yeah, the squeezers and the squeezettes.
The squeezers and the squeezers. The squeezers sounds like maybe you want to change the name. They sound like maybe they're sexually harassing the squeezers.
No.
Because that could have a double entendre meaning.
To see where your head goes.
Yeah, the squeezers.
What did I tell you about that?
Squeezers, squeeze.
The squeezettes and the squeezers.
Squeezers.
Yeah. I have this trademark. Life is short. Squeeze all you can out of it.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that too. All right, let's go to immigration. All right, let's go. Patricia in the Bronx. Patricia.
Yes.
Hey, how are you? What's happening?
Hey, Patricia.
Good. I have a question for you. 3 of my friends' mother. She lives in New York for over 20 years.
Right.
And then she started doing her documents and so forth. But about a year before it came through, she got sick and went into a nursing home.
Who was doing the documents for who?
Huh?
Who was doing the documents for who?
Oh, she was from the immigration here. I mean, in Manhattan. She.
Yeah, I know. Who was filing for her?
I don't know. She had a sponsor, but I know she was doing the right thing. She went in Manhattan at the main office, and
all right, so somebody sponsored this woman, and she got ill and went to a nursing home. Where is she now?
She died. That's what I want to ask some questions. She died.
What is the question?
Yes. At the point of let me see. The year that it was finalized that she got her green card. She died the same year.
Okay.
So while she was in the nursing home, they sent it there to her to sign it to get the green card, but then she passed.
Okay.
So the children now,
it's a question about the children.
It's
a question about the children. Got it.
Yeah, they want to know if anything could be done for them to get it.
How old are they?
They are adult now.
Where are they?
1 is in Jamaica, 2 is here in the United States.
Okay. Now, do we know how this woman got her green card? Did she get sponsored in a job, you think? Did she get sponsored by another family member?
Yeah, maybe by another family member or so forth.
Okay. And what year was this? How long ago was this?
You know what? This was in 2006. She passed in 2006. The same year they sent to her to sign to get the green card. She passed.
Okay. How old are the kids?
Okay. The first one is 50-something.
Oh, wow.
They're all in their 50s.
Okay, all right. Now there's not much you can do unless she started for her green card before they were 21, and that's going back like 30 some odd years ago.
Okay.
So really, there's nothing, and then the mother didn't turn around and file for these kids, did they? They're not kids; they're really adults. They're my contemporaries. All right, they're in their 50s. They're even older than me. How could I call somebody older than me kids?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, not much you can do, but what they should do is if they're out of status here, make an appointment to come in and see us, and let's see what options they have, okay?
Okay, so where should they go? I'm
going to put you on hold right now, and we're going to give you all that information off the air. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, and it's at 225 Broadway.
Yep.
And you call 1-800-529-5465.
That's it.
1-800-529.
1-800-LOLIC.
And we have a whole bunch of empty lines right now, Squeeze.
Really, we do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's a Friday blues.
Maybe
it's Punxsutawney Phil scared them all off.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did.
Maybe, hopefully, he didn't. All right. The number once again to call is 1-800-529-5465. Also, place your question. Do remember to share. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello?
All right, let's go to Kerry in Hagerstown. Is that Maryland? Where's Hagerstown? Hagerstown.
Hello?
Hi,
Yes.
hi, Kerry.
Yeah, I'm in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Hagerstown, Maryland. What's up?
Yeah, I have one question to ask. I got my citizenship last year, so this month is going to be 1 year since I have my citizenship. But my boyfriend, he's visiting me from Jamaica. We are friends for 4 years. We're planning our wedding. So I want to ask a question. Do you think I should go down to Jamaica and get married, or can I stay here and just get married? And I just
All right, so you're here for how long now? How long have you been here in the United States?
I'm here for 7 years now. My father filed for me.
And you're a citizen?
Yes. Last year I became a citizen. This month is going to be 1 year.
Okay. And your boyfriend is right now here in the United States on a wedding?
Yes.
Coming to visit you?
No, he's not here for the wedding, but we're planning our wedding. We were planning our wedding.
Oh, I see.
But he came to visit me for Thanksgiving, and he's here still.
He's still
He's
here.
November,
So when did he
yes.
when did he come to the United States?
He came here in
Give me the day.
November.
Give me the day.
November 4th, I think.
November 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now he's been here almost 90 days. We're February 2nd. February 4th, assuming he came November 4th, would be 90 days Sunday. So, so if you've been visiting for more than 90 days, okay, so 90 days would be Sunday, presumably. Monday is 91 days. You can marry him right here. He doesn't have to leave. You can marry him right here on Monday. On Tuesday, file your papers for him here. He would get his work permit within 90 days, a travel document to travel back and forth, and an interview in about 9 to 10 months. Versus, let me just give you the other option. He goes home, you go home and marry him. I mean, you go back to his home and marry him. You come back to America. He stays in Jamaica for about a year while you file for him to come back. To me, I think it's better. Let him stay. Go get married next week as long as it's more than 90 days. Put in the adjustment here, and if he needs to travel, you can get a travel document.
So, so it's like you're married today, you can go ahead tomorrow and put it in the paperwork?
Absolutely. Nope. You married today, you put it in tomorrow. You know, a lot of people think, Squeeze, and Kerry, because I'm talking to Kerry as well, that, you know, if I get married, I got to wait 9, 10, 12 months, because I don't want immigration to think that, you know, we're gonna that I'm got married to get a green card.
Right.
Well, guess what? Okay, it's obvious if you're living in another country and you're here and you have no visa and no work permit, you want to be able to get it as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
So if you're in love and it's a real marriage and it sounds like it to me, okay,
yes, it is.
Go marry him next week. Put in the papers immediately. Let him start working. Let him get a travel document to go back and forth, and he's on his way to getting a green card.
Oh, thank you. Because sometimes I have to go down to Jamaica and I have to work here, and sometimes I have to spend like a week and I'm visiting. So
Squeeze goes all the time.
Together.
Squeeze goes all the time. So what you know, if he ends up going back, Squeeze can take some notes, some love notes for you to go back and forth. He'll be more than happy to do that. Right, Squeeze? Because he does courier service now too.
So how do I?
We do everything here in New York for everybody in all 50 states. So what happens is I'm going to put you on hold. You can make an appointment to come see me, or you can make an appointment to have a phone consultation with me. If you don't want to come up from Maryland, we can do everything by phone. We'll do all the paperwork by phone, and then at the time of the interview, somebody will drive down to Maryland for your interview.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So hold on one second, or
you.
take a train or whatever it is.
There you go.
All right.
1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465.
You know, Squeeze. Yeah. Deborah Gail McCrone, okay, says we're hilarious, but only 110 people at this very moment know we're hilarious. There's many millions of people out there.
That's simply because people are not sharing it.
There are many, many millions of people out there who may also think we're hilarious and may also need immigration help.
Yeah, we hear that every day. That we're hilarious.
Hilarious. Yeah. What about we're smart?
Is that number right?
What number?
That number.
What number? that only 111 people are watching us at this very moment?
Yeah.
That is correct. Only 111 people think we're funny, Squeeze.
Listen, I need everybody to share, ladies and gentlemen. So go out now and share. All right?
All right. Lee Nelson says, finally, all right, I'll share, God damn it. All right, let's go to Mike. Mike in New York. Mike.
Hey, Brad. Hey, Squeeze. How you doing?
Hey,
What's
how
up?
are you, man?
Thanks for taking my call. I love you guys. I think you're both hilarious.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
I have a question regarding citizenship.
Yeah.
I've been married to a woman who was born in Greece, and she has her Greek citizenship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the question is this. She's able to get a card for our daughter who was not born in Greece.
What do you mean a card?
A dual citizenship, like a passport, you know.
Okay,
like
your daughter was born in the United States.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My question is, why is that allowed, and why? Because I'm married to her, I can't get the dual citizenship. Is that something that?
Oh, you're asking.
Mistaken?
Yeah, because you're not a blood relative of her, I assume. You know, in the United States, I don't know what Greek citizenship laws are, but in the United States, if it was the opposite, you know, your wife would have to get a green card and then ultimately become a citizen, before, you know, and she would have to work her way into living here and becoming a citizen. It doesn't happen automatically. So I assume the same with Greece. So if you want to go live in Greece, you would get some sort of, I guess, permanent residence to live with your wife, and then over a certain amount of years be able to apply for Greek citizenship. But it doesn't happen automatically, I would assume. I'm not a global immigration lawyer, but I'm going to make that assumption.
Thank you kindly, and enjoy Groundhog's Day. Thanks for taking the call.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Thanks a lot for calling.
All right, Greek immigration law, Squeeze.
Yep.
It's all Greek to me over there.
It's all Greek.
It's all Greek to me. I don't know Greek immigration
Greeks get a bad
law.
rap with that, you know.
What? It's all Greek to me, right? Yeah. That is a bad rap. Maybe it's really simple.
Yeah.
Maybe it's really simple.
You know, come
you
on.
don't know, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got
nobody, because everyone gets scared. It's all Greek to me. Like, I'm staying away from that. You know?
You got languages like you got the Chinese language, the Japanese
right.
language.
Nobody says it's all Chinese to me, right?
And that's
right. Nobody says it's all Patwa to me.
Yeah.
It's always Greek to me.
Russian, you know.
Yeah, nobody says that. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's all Hebrew to me. I don't get it.
It's all Russian to me.
Yeah. Simone in Boca Raton.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. I love you guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for taking my call again. I just want to ask you guys.
Wow, she's a multiple caller.
I called in yesterday and I forgot to ask you guys about my kids. I also came up with my 2 kids.
Right.
If I should see a filing for them also, or they just automatically get it.
What do you mean you came up with your 2 kids, they automatically get it? How did you come up to the United States?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Through my mom filing me. I'm here for 5 years now, and I'm actually doing my citizenship
Oh, I
right
understand now. Okay. How old are your children?
They're 8, 9, and 7.
Okay, so they will automatically become citizens provided you become a citizen.
Okay.
So you don't have to do anything. So the fact that you become a citizen, they're living with you, you have legal guardianship of them, they would automatically become a citizen too, assuming they have a green card. And then what you would do is just bring your naturalization papers to and file for a U.S. passport for them after you become a citizen, and just prove they live in the house with you. You know, you're the mother on record on the school, their dependents on your tax returns, here's their birth certificate, here's my naturalization certificate, and I think you're good to go. And they have a green card.
Okay, awesome. Right. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.
Thanks a lot. Okay, 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. Thank you so much for tuning in. But we still don't have enough shares.
We don't have any callers either, Squeeze.
All right.
I have a whole
We
comedy
don't have
routine
enough
with
shares.
Squeeze. We can run the Groundhog again.
I like the Groundhog.
I would love to see the Groundhog again.
I really, really like that.
Yeah.
But we've got that segment also that we want to do too.
Yeah, you know what? Are we ready for Antoinette, Jill?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting segment.
All right. This is really cool, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is really cool. So there's this woman, Antoinette Tuff. I got a chance to interview her the other day. She has a crazy story, and I'll just tell you very quickly. Okay, her husband left her after 33 years.
Right.
She worked in a school in Atlanta, Georgia. She has a disabled child. She owed a lot of money to a lot of different people in banks. The banks were calling her to repossess her car, her home, everything. She hit rock bottom. She tried to commit suicide, failed. On her first day back after being released from the hospital and okay to go back to work, she went to the school where she works. She's the bookkeeper in the school, in an elementary school in Decatur, Georgia. A gunman.
What if you're going to tell us all of this? Isn't this all?
No, it's great. She tells it better than me.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know,
all right.
You know,
And we,
I'm like,
but, all right. So I won't tell. I won't say any more.
Yeah, because you're just killing it right now.
Okay. I won't say. You're right.
You know?
Maybe you're right. I won't. But she tells it much better than me. Okay.
Yeah.
So she has an unbelievable story. And they made a made-for-TV movie about it, starring Toni Braxton, which just appeared on Lifetime Network last week. And this woman, Antoinette Tuff, she's really tough, but also she's an inspiration to everybody to show that no matter how bad life is, there's always a purpose behind your life. And let's look at the trailer first, and then we talk to Antoinette Tuff.
You need to get out of there. This is your chance. He's reloading.
All night long, the nets they threw the stars and the twinkling fall. It was all so pretty a sail it seemed.
Intruder alert!
And some folks thought 'twas a dream they dreamed, as if it could not be. So shut your eyes as mother sings.
You don't have to do this, son.
Of the wonderful sights that be.
So this woman was an unbelievable inspiration. I got an opportunity this week to speak to her directly. And for every person out there who thinks they don't have a purpose in life, they're not sure why they're here, they feel they got the raw end of the deal in life, watch this.
And share it.
Watch this and share this.
Yeah.
It's really great. She's unbelievable.
Right,
watch this. With us today is Antoinette Tuff, and boy, does that name stick with her after you hear her extraordinary story. Her story is so extraordinary, this past week, Lifetime Networks just aired a true life movie about her experience, the experience that happened on August 20th, 2013. Antoinette was working as a bookkeeper at the Ronald McNair Discovery Learning Center in Decatur, Georgia. I actually went to school at Emory, so I'm very familiar with that area. Antoinette, welcome to our show, and tell us what happened on that day.
It's a pleasure to be on your show today. It was an unbelievable, unrealistic day. If you had to get up in the morning and think of what you was going to do, that wouldn't have been what you would have chose.
It wouldn't be even in your thoughts of 1 million thoughts of what could possibly happen today. Let's hear what happened.
So on August 20, 2013, I walked into the elementary school. I was on my way to work that day, overwhelmed because my husband had just left me after 33 years. And so I was just trying to get my bearings and trying to get myself together, trying to figure out how I wasn't going to pay bills, because when he left all this debt, no check. You know how that goes.
I know how that goes. I represent lots of people with husbands with no checks. And you have children, and one is disabled, I understand, right?
Yes, my son is multiple disabled, and so he had actually came home to visit me from school because I was in an unstable position. I had tried to commit suicide several times, and so my son came to kind of check on me to see how I was doing. I was just not knowing how to breathe without having my best friend. My husband wasn't just my husband, but he was my best friend too.
He was your life for 33 years. This is what you were looking at when you went to work. A husband who left, depression, you tried to commit suicide, not knowing how to pay your bills, even though you have a job as a bookkeeper at this school. What happened when you showed up at the school?
My principal comes in and asks me if I could fill in for the secretary for lunch. So I was trying to get myself together to go and relieve her, but I wind up getting a phone call from the bank. And they wanted $14,000 in 7 days. So then I'm actually sitting there crying, trying to get myself together. And I get up and walk out the door, and it's the teacher wanting me to help her with her paperwork. So me and the teacher goes up to the front office to relieve the secretary. The secretary goes out of one door, and the parent that she was helping goes out the other door. And then all of a sudden, we hear this unbelievable sound because the parent let the gunman in because I didn't beep him in.
So there was a gunman walked into this school, and the sound that you heard was what?
It was the gunman saying, "We're all going to die."
That was the first sound you heard. He walked into the office, or you heard him say that in the hallway?
No, he was in the office by then.
He walks
was in the office.
So a gunman walks into the office. He announces to the two people in this office, one of whom is you. Okay,
yes.
You are all going to die today. Was he brandishing a gun, or did he say he had a gun?
So what he did is when he walked into the front office, he was saying those words. He had a book bag on his back, and he had a rifle bag in his hand, and then he had the gun already out, walking and pacing to and fro in front of us, telling us both that we're going to die today. This is not a joke. This is for real. And he was going to and fro, just talking to us and giving us demands.
So basically a crazy man walks in with a huge rifle, a bag of ammo, announces you're going to die. How many children are in this school at this moment?
Over 870 children, staff, and parents.
And this is what grades?
It's pre-K all the way up to 5th grade.
And what went through your mind? He says, this is it, you're going to die. What was the first thing that went through your mind?
I started calling on Jesus.
and he obviously answered because you're here, okay? Now, you said you did this in your mind, correct?
Right.
Okay, so after you had this sudden, prayer, Jesus, come help me, and this man is, showing a gun to you, and what does he say? What do you do?
I was watching him walking to and fro. He was giving me demands of what he wanted me to do. He wanted the teacher first to go and let everybody know that he was in the building. Then he was going to and fro. He went outside and shot in front of the office several times in the community, which was scary for me because there were grandparents and parents at home. We had parents and grandparents who didn't work. So that community was a community that a lot of the grandparents were actually caretakers of the children, of their grandchildren. And so you had a lot of elderly people at home during this time. And so it was scary for me because I'm like, he's out there shooting in the community. You got elderly people there. And so I didn't know exactly what that was going to wind up looking like, but afraid, but still talking to God, asking him what to do.
So let me just paint the picture so I understand and the viewers understand. The man walks in, he brandishes the gun, you're going to die, he runs out, he shoots outside through the doorway. How close is the office to where he was shooting?
So it's like a couple of feet. It's not far.
All right, so there was no opportunity for you to run away or anything?
Oh, I could have ran away.
You could have run away. How come you didn't run away when he left?
Because there was 870 kids in that school. If I would have left, he would have went on a rampage. So for me, it was important to make sure that everyone in that building went home, including the gunman.
So I understand that the gunman, in part of his pacing around and shooting, demanded that you call the police and demanded that you call the news so that the news can, take pictures or video him having a massacre. Could we have part of the 911 tape of you calling the police to let them know that there is a gunman in the school? Let's take a listen.
DeKalb Police, what's the address of your emergency?
Yes, ma'am. I'm on 2nd Avenue in the school, and the gentleman said, tell them to hold down. The police officers are coming, and he said he's going to start shooting, so tell them to back off.
Okay, one moment.
Do not let anybody in the building, including the police. Do not let anybody in the building, including the police.
Okay, stay on the line with me, man. Where are you?
I'm in the front office. Oh, he just went outside and started shooting.
Can you get somewhere safe?
Yeah, I got to go. He's going to see me running there and coming back. Oh, hold on.
Put the phone down.
Bye.
All right, so I want you to know, I'm scared listening to this, and I'm not even there living it. The man walks in, you're going to die, he runs out 3 feet from your office, starts shooting at you don't know what. He then comes back, you're still on the phone with 911. They're listening to the speaker. You're now praying to God. When did it dawn on you that you have to have a conversation with this gunman? How did that dawn on you? It just happened.
It didn't dawn on me.
It didn't.
It just happened. I was just talking to God. I can't even tell you all. I mean, listening to the 911 tape brings back to my remembrance of what I said, because I don't even remember everything that I said. I don't know when. I didn't even know I was telling the man my business, first of all.
So
that was not the plan for the day. I was just actually talking to him and praying to God and asking God, what do I say to him? Because right now, every word that proceeds out of my mouth can be life or death. So I'm having this kind of conversation with God about what do I do? What do I say? How do I say it? I didn't know at the moment until after all this was over with that I had told him all my business.
So you told him your husband left, you're in debt, you have a disabled child, you almost wanted to commit suicide. You gave him your entire story as well. What was his reaction when you started telling him? Did you start having a conversation back and forth, or was it a one-way conversation of you just talking to him and him listening?
It was really a one-way conversation of me talking and him listening. He never really communicated when I asked him his name and all that. He never really allowed me to know that he was listening or that I was even getting across to him. Only thing he did was stick to his script of just telling me and giving me demands of what to do, call the 911, then call the news station and let them know that he's there. He never said to me until at the very end of what his name was, even though I asked him his name multiple times. He never really said that. So I don't know to tell you if it was something that I said that made him communicate or wind up telling me his name. I don't know what that connection was, but that I was just asking God what to say to him.
How long was this going on? Do you know? I mean, at the time, I guess it seemed like it happened in a millisecond.
We were in there for quite a while.
So after you told him your story, at what point did he give himself up? And tell me how that all came about.
He started, first of all, telling me his name. And then he came back and he called I think it was his mom that he called. He made a phone call and told them that it was him on the news and what was going on. Then he went back outside after he called them. I thought it was going to be over with. But after he did all that, he went back outside and started shooting again. But there were magazines. Right. And he was taking and loading up the magazines in front of me. So all I was hearing was click, 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 click. So it was just like, oh my God, it brought another level of fear. So I didn't know exactly when it was. All he did was, in the midst of me talking to him, in the midst of me telling him my story, he put all of the ammunition out of his pockets because he had wind up loading up so he can go out and just do damage. So he wind up taking all of the ammunition and everything out of his pockets, all of the magazines that he had already loaded up in front of me. Then he put the gun over there on the table beside me on that desk, and his bottle of water and his phone, and he just laid on the floor prostrate before the Lord and just let him come and get him.
Do you recall if there was something that you said that triggered him to do all of this, or do you think it was just a culmination of everything? Or was there one specific thing or fact you told him that got into his head to say, this is wrong, I'm giving myself up?
Yeah, I think it was more or less of me, of God, because I was screaming on the inside. I just wasn't screaming on the outside. You ain't here because I was screaming.
I could imagine.
I think it was a combination of me having an intimate relationship with God at that point. I think we were pain meeting pain. So we connected together because of the pain. And so with that pain, I think that we were able to save one another. Because it wasn't just me saving his life. He saved my life too. He saved my life in ways that can never be explained. I mean, I had tried to commit suicide a couple of days before that. So I wouldn't say that it was more or less, it was one thing I said or a sentence that I said. I think it was a combination of me being in that relationship with God, being able to allow God to use me to be able to speak to that young man, to be able to let him know that at the end of the day that God loved him and so do I. I think it was a combination of all of that for him to be able to see that at the end of the day someone cares for me.
And I assume, and we'll get back into a second because I want to find out how the police came in and arrested him and everything, but just I assume, you know, you were committing suicide because you felt helpless, you felt worthless, and here, within days, you potentially saved 800 children from their death. What a turnaround in your life. You know, how does that make you feel now when you look back? You know, how did this whole experience affect you moving forward?
Well, the thing about it is that I take those moments that I have. I don't think God allows you to go through anything in life for nothing. I think everything has a purpose and a destiny to take you where you need to go. So I know that those moments that I was having at my lowest moments allowed me to be able to go in and write my book to the magnitude that I did. And that was why it was important for me for it to be called Prepared for a Purpose, because I think we're all prepared for a purpose in some kind of way.
Right.
And so we just don't know what that way is going to be. We don't know how God's going to call our name or call our number, and if we'll be ready for it when he does. So for me, what that incident has allowed me to be able to see that I always had a love for kids. I've always been that mommy.
Right.
So that's nothing new for me to be able to love that young man, because I didn't see a gunman. What I seen was a young man who was 20 years old, just as the same age as my own kids. He was in a position that he was calling out for help. So it becomes, who's going to hear my cry? Who's going to look outside of what you see on the outside, come into the inside and know that at the end of the day, I'm calling out for somebody to hear me. I'm calling out for help. So for me, what I do today now is I go back into that same school district where the gunman held me hostage. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I do a one-on-one mentoring program. And it's called Kids on the Move for Success Discovery STEAM Mentoring Program. And we affect kids in the elementary, because I believe that if we go back and get these children at a young age, we can make a difference. And how do we do that? And so with that, with my nonprofit, I give out scholarships to kids from pre-K to graduates. We have my mentoring program that we do. And then I go back to businesses, schools, universities, and nonprofits and organizations and speak and allow people to know, what does that conversation in the crosshairs look like? What does it look like when I got to now look outside of me and show somebody compassion, confidence, and control in the midst of my own hurt?
Right.
And then also allow them to be able to see what Prepared for a Purpose looks like.
Now, just to end your particular story, and then I want to get back to you today. The police came in after he got in the prayer position, and what was that commotion like when the police came in?
It was another level of fear. I was already afraid, because when they came in, you know, you see it on TV when the SWAT team come in, right, and they, you know,
you can imagine they burst in like yes, 20, 30 people with guns blazing.
And it's like they got guns, they got all this armor on their faces, and they coming in and just moving. And I mean, it was just another level of uproar. So for me, I was afraid even more so, even though I know I was being rescued and protected, it still didn't stop the level of fear. And then for me also, I looked at that young man that was laying on that floor prostrate before the Lord. I knew his life was going to change. I knew that what he knew before would no longer be his life. So I started feeling a little anxiety, even more so.
Right.
Afraid now of his life, because I knew his life was going to change. And was he going to be able to survive in the process of it?
Now he eventually got arrested. He's in jail for 20 years. He had psychological issues. You potentially saved 823 children, plus God knows how many police officers and first responders. You yourself saved your own life for all of this. You are now helping others, and you found a purpose in your life. And certainly the Lord does work in very, very mysterious ways. Yes. But let me ask you a question, because this is an immigration show, and there's lots of people who feel overwhelmed in their life. They feel helpless, especially with their immigration situation. What can you tell people that can help them try to overcome their anxieties and overcome their issues that they're facing?
So what I would say to them is that I know life doesn't always look the way we want it to. I know it doesn't always turn out the way we think it should be. But one thing I've learned in this process is that God gives us all a red carpet. And the red carpet starts when we're born. And so you go through things in your life and the carpet starts unfolding. And you'll get a little hiccup. You know, husband leave you, this going on, you know, your kids acting up. So the red carpet stops because now you got to kind of get in control of what's going on with your life. And then God says, he says, I see my child down there needing a little something. So he showers you with blessings. And so then your red carpet starts to unfold again. And then you come in another part in your life and, you know, now you're an adult and, you know, you want to be back a child because you realize you got all these bills and debt and you don't know how you're going to pay them because no one never really told you what that looks like to have a savings account or how to deal with bills or anything like that. So your red carpet stops a little bit. And then you're trying to figure that all out. And then God comes out and he shakes it up again for you. So for me, I'm in that red carpet part of my life where God is shaking it up a little bit. But one thing at the end of the day, I know with my businesses that I'm doing now, with my Kids on the Move for Success, as we're now going in to change lives and save souls for the kingdom of God, I know that at the end of the day, it's going to work out for their good. Because if it worked out for mine, I was an ordinary mom.
Right.
Sitting at that desk as a bookkeeper, working 3 jobs, and still not being able to make ends meet. Trying to rob Paul to pay Peter and Peter to pay Paul, and with cut-off notices everywhere, trying to figure out how was I going to put food on the table for my son. The night that the gunman came in, I was trying to figure out what we was going to eat for dinner. So I know that God can change it around for whoever's watching this show. So don't look at what you're seeing right now in your life. Just know that every moment is subject to change.
And every moment in life has a purpose for the next moment. You may not realize it at the time. And my belief, and I think you share this with me, that everybody has a purpose in life in this world. And if everybody's purpose is to make the world a little better in their own way, however they live their life. And if you leave this world a little better, you're leaving it a lot better. But if you leave it a little better than when you came here, you led a purposeful life. And you certainly discovered that under the barrel of a gun. And they made a Lifetime Network movie. Toni Braxton, Grammy Award winner. How did it feel? How did it feel to have Toni Braxton play you?
It was awesome because you're now looking at 2 hometown heroes. You know, Toni Braxton has a day named after her, and I have a day named after me in the state of Georgia, August the 25th. And so I go back on my day and just bless babies all over the world, nationally and international, with my scholarships and now with my mentoring program. So it was great for her to be able to play me in this Faith Under Fire movie, to be able to portray what my book was about, to give people a snippet of what Prepared for a Purpose looked like. And so I know that with that, people are going to be able to see what that looks like. And the reason why I know is because I'm now, since this movie has aired, my social media website went off the chart. I had to actually go in and upload it and put some more memory to it because it was blowing off. Because we're reaching that many people.
Because you've changed lives. You change lives.
Right.
And you lead a purposeful life.
Yes.
And Antoinette Tuff, and that's, by the way, a beautiful picture with you and the Obamas. If anybody lives up to their last name, I think it's you. And certainly Lifetime Networks made a movie, Faith Under Fire, about your life in that particular day, and starring not only Toni Braxton, but Malik Yoba, Trevor Morgan, Yaya DaCosta, and you are living, I think it took you a while to figure out your purpose in life, but you are living a purposeful life, and congratulations to you. You saved 800+ children and other human beings And certainly you are a hero in anybody's book, and thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be on here with you today. And I'll say to the audience at the end of the day, no matter what it looks like in your life, everything is subject to change.
That's amen. That's true. Thank you.
That was magnificent.
It was.
It was magnificent, phenomenal, and very, very touching. Literally gave me goose pimples.
It did.
Yes.
But really what it shows is that even when you think, I don't have a reason for being on this earth, there's always a reason.
There always is a reason.
You got to wake up the next day and figure it out. You got to wake up the next day and figure out whatever position you're in.
No matter what you're going through.
Whatever position you're in.
Yeah.
And by the way, Jill, I just want to repeat what Squeeze just said to me. Okay? What did you just say to me?
I said, you have an unbelievable team in that room because the production and the work that's being done is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Phenomenal.
Amazing.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and I think everything has come together and is even getting better.
Get better and better.
Yeah. So
we didn't know how this show was going to go when we started. Yeah. Not today, but when we started it, so I think we're going good.
And here we are.
Yeah. And you know who also is really hitting her stride now?
Who?
Belgium Kim.
Belgium Kim.
Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
She's hitting her stride.
Oh,
even from her sick bed.
She's
the only thing is I don't believe that she's been sick all week, but she claims it.
She's not sick. She's like,
claiming it.
The boss is indirectly saying that I can actually take a few days off. Okay, no problem.
All right, let's find her with our social media questions. Hello!
Hello!
Boy, it looks like you're 98.6. You look exactly. I'm going to tell you something. I'm just taking a look at you. I don't even think you need a thermometer. I think it's 98.6.
You know what, Brad?
What?
I think you're right, finally. I think you're right.
Yeah. All right, so you will be back on Monday then.
Oh, you betcha. Listen, I would like to state, to defend my honor on this one, that the only reason I wasn't in today is because I was given a 24-hour bar from the office.
That is very true.
If I didn't have a fever.
That is. I tell every. That is very true. It's not only you, so don't take it insulting. I tell this to everybody. Okay. No. So I don't want you to think I just tell it to Belgian people. I tell it to everybody. All right. I told her. I said you are not allowed back in this office till 24 hours. You need a 24 hours no fever rule, and then you're allowed back in. Other than that, you're going to not only infect everyone in the office, you're going to infect all the clients. Everybody. It's like the flu will just go flying through the whole office.
And I also knew that if I came in today and anyone got sick between now and 3 weeks from now, it would be my fault.
That is correct. That is correct.
I'm not taking those chances with you, Brad.
So what do we got, Squeeze? Do we have people who have immigration questions, or are we going to be talking about the flu for 1 hour?
No, I think we should go to the immigration questions.
What do you think?
That's what I think.
All right. So what do we got?
Our first question is from Christopher, and Christopher wants to know, I have a friend and his wife's mother has threatened to call immigration on him, even though he's a client at your firm. He's been here for a year already. Does he have anything to worry about? Is the real question.
Listen, I mean, anybody can call immigration all day long. I am sure they get calls all day long. Go get this guy, go get that guy. What my advice to people is you can't worry about what you can't control, okay? And number two, the odds, even under Donald Trump, the odds that immigration gets a random call, hey, here's a tip, there's someone out of status in Brooklyn. Wow, that's half the borough. I mean, come on, Right. So, I don't know if it's half the borough, but it's certainly a lot of people. I don't think immigration is going to be like, hey, thanks, we're on it right now. And then, they go straight down to the, So, I mean, the odds of anybody coming and knocking on your door, what I tell people is, here's the telephone number. Go knock your socks out.
There you go.
Socks off. Socks out or socks off? Either way.
Socks off.
Socks off.
Go knock your socks off. Okay, so don't worry about it. All right, next.
Theodon has like an 8-part question. The first part, I know.
I think this is for Punxsutawney Phil. No, okay,
This
go ahead.
is definitely one
Yeah.
for Punxsutawney Phil.
All right.
The first one is, my dad is a 10-year green card holder. 3 years has passed. Can he go ahead and apply for his citizenship?
How did he get his green card?
Well, that's not in any of the 8 parts.
You know what? There's a Rodney Dangerfield movie when he goes back to school and he's got a pass, and the teacher said, you know that, Back to School? It's a great movie. And he goes, okay, Rodney, I got one question for you in 37 parts. and then, you know, he's like sweating, and he goes, you know, the answer to question 37, part A, 2-1, you know, Roman numeral 4 is 3. And he goes, yes, that's it. All right, keep going.
Hilarious.
Keep going. I am a whiz with old movies. I don't watch new movies, but
I noticed that.
I'm a whiz with old movies. Yeah.
And you and I were nerding out over Mel Brooks all week.
That's right. We were.
We were, and I think we're also maybe the only 2 people who know History of the World Part 1 that well.
That is right. That is right.
So the second question is it okay for the father, Theodon's father, and his wife to file separate tax returns?
If you are okay, so I'm going to assume that the father got his green card through the wife, and he's now had his green card for 3 years, and he wants to file for his citizenship, and the answer is yes, you can file for your citizenship, provided you're in a bona fide marriage with your wife. And how does immigration determine bona fide marriage, Squeeze? We say this every day on our show. Eventually, it will sink through to people. You have to live together and have a financial relationship together.
Yep.
So how do you prove you have you do your joint tax returns. If you're not doing joint tax returns, you do not have a financial relationship with each other. They are going to deny him based on not being in a bona fide marriage with his wife for 3 years if they start doing taxes separately. So he can do his taxes separately, but will not become a U.S. citizen until at least 5 years. That's your choice. Because at 5 years, you don't got to prove bona fide marriage.
So then the last part of his question is it okay for the dad to file for his 8-year-old son, so for the dad's son?
Why can't the wife do it if she's the citizen? If not, the dad, because it'll be faster, but if not, the dad can do it, it'll be 2 years, of course. He should be doing it. Either way, but someone's got to do it. The wife's faster.
Cool Chick asks, my friend did his citizen... Cool Chick.
By the way, can we stop a second? Everyone's got to share.
Yeah, you know what?
Squeeze.
You know what I'm going to tell everybody to do?
Yeah,
what? Do us a favor.
What?
I need everybody to join at least one group today.
Join a group?
Yeah.
What kind of group? Like a group online or just any group?
A group on Facebook.
On Facebook?
Yeah, a Facebook group that you think could benefit from actually watching the Brad and Squeeze show.
And then tell them about it.
That is your one good deed for the Brad and Squeeze show today.
Everyone has a purpose.
Everyone has
you have a purpose every day for waking
I've
up.
been sitting here thinking and sharing. I'm like, if everyone joined just one group.
Just one group.
Just one.
Every group would have another member.
There you go.
Right.
You know, and then share the Brad and Squeeze
show.
We
We have a graphic, Squeeze.
Yeah.
For the 3 people who do not know how to share, who watch our show.
For the 3 people.
For the 3 people who don't. We have this graphic that we can share.
So let's invest some time to do that.
There it is. Okay. This is how you share, Squeeze.
Yeah, let's see.
This is how you do it. Let's see. Yeah, what is happening here? Are they actually sharing here? The show is so informative and funny.
Yep.
What's so funny about this show?
We are.
All right, Kim, let's go back to our questions. I just wanted everyone to share.
Okay. Blake asks, if you used to work on a farm and they gave you a social security number, can you use the number if you're married to a U.S. citizen and she filed for her taxes and your papers have been filed?
Yes. You should file a joint tax return with your U.S. citizen. When you get a social security number, that social security number, as long as it was obviously issued legitimately, is good for life. You don't change that number. You have it, even if you're not work authorized, you use that social security number to pay your taxes, because whether you're work authorized or not, you got to pay your taxes. And also, if you're married to a U.S. citizen, the fact that you are not work authorized and you worked is not a bar to getting a green card. So for all of those reasons, Use the number and pay your taxes jointly.
Cool Chick asks,
Doesn't
my
she have a lot
friend
of
had
questions, Cool Chick?
We actually never got to her question fully. Cool Chick asks, my friend did his citizenship a few years ago, and he had to pass the exam, but he didn't have any tax papers at the time. So they asked him to send in 5 years of back taxes, but the tax guy ran out of time and did not send when he was supposed to send the taxes. So now the friend is going to put in for his citizenship again, but wants to know if he's going to have any problems, and should he just bring his taxes next time around?
He should have a good lawyer representing him, and then make sure that all of his taxes are filed for every year in which he worked, and for the years he didn't work, he better be able to prove how he supported himself, because they're going to believe that you worked and didn't pay taxes otherwise.
Carol asks, I traveled on my I-512 advanced parole without a problem. Also, how long is the wait after a VAWA I-485 interview to get the green card?
All right, so she had a statement. She traveled without a problem. We're happy about that. And then after you get your VAWA interview, as long as it all went well, you should get your green card within 60 days. I don't know what happens at the interview.
No, she was wondering if she can travel.
The answer
for
is
her,
yes. As if you have a VAWA, if you have a pending VAWA adjustment, you absolutely can travel on the advanced parole if you have it.
Perfect. Carly asks, if a petitioner owes a lot of taxes, is that going to affect the application, or will it be fine once there's a second person sponsoring them?
The fact that you owe taxes shouldn't be a problem as long as you have a tax return filed that shows you earn that money for that particular year. And if you didn't earn a sufficient amount of money, you could always get a second affidavit of support. They never question in the affidavit of support, by the way, you earned $100,000, but you owe $200,000 in taxes. That question, how much you owe in taxes, doesn't come up. It's just how much did you earn.
Just how much did you earn.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Kimmy asks, my U.S. visa expired in 2012. When I'm applying now, would it be classified as a new application or a renewal?
A renewal.
Okay. Karen asks, if you marry someone in their country and they come to America on a tourist visa after getting married, can they adjust their status here in the U.S.?
If they wait 90 days and they came with the intention of visiting and changed their mind after 90 days.
Junior wants to know, I'm married to an American citizen. We have a daughter. I have 2 from a previous relationship. I got locked up, but the charge was dismissed. I went to an immigration detention center afterwards, and the deportation officer told me that I can't get my green card because I came here on a crew visa. I have to go back home. So now I'm in Jamaica, and my application is still pending for my I-130 and my I-485. How much longer do you think I have to wait?
You got a big problem because you can't do an I-485 if you're in Jamaica. The I-485 is to adjust your status in the United States, so you don't even know what's going on with your case. It sounds like he got deported or took a voluntary departure, and his wife is filing a new I-130 for him, but he needs 2 waivers. He needs a waiver to return after either a voluntary departure or a deportation. Either way, deportation's 10 years, voluntary departure is 5 years. Either way, you need a waiver for that. And then you also need a waiver. He may need 2 waivers, a waiver for living illegally in the United States. But he needs the I-130 waivers and then go for an interview. It has nothing to do with I-485. And he needs, it sounds like he needs the help of a lawyer. I would not, when the word, desperately. I was deported, I'm in deportation, I'm scared, I'm going, if there's the word deportation in your question, if the word deportation even enters in your mind, you should be calling us.
But how many times have we said that?
Every day we say it.
Deportation, arrest.
Correct.
You know.
I was just about to throw arrest
don't
in there.
Don't think filling out a form is going to work for you. Squeeze, you're a little out of. You're like half in. There you go.
There he is.
There he is. All right.
Angel wants to know my I-90.
Somebody just stole Punxsutawney Phil. Somebody just stole Punxsutawney Phil.
Oh, he's going up on his own.
I wanted to like fall right in your lap, you know, on your picture.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh my God!
Jill does it best.
Can you imagine? Can you picture Squeeze like when, you know, like the show's over, you know, like how he always likes to steal all the props from the prop department? Can you imagine he's going to like
now I'm a criminal.
He's going to take Punxsutawney Phil home with him.
Now he's lambasting. Couldn't we get through this one show without some lambasting?
And when he's by himself at like 2 in the morning, he's going to be like, "So Squeeze, what do you? Does anyone listen?" You know, and he's like starts talking to himself.
Yeah, I'll talk to myself.
When Squeeze is lonely.
All of a sudden, I'm going to put on Instagram and there's Squeeze with Punxsutawney Phil.
I think you need that.
Well,
you need to have that.
You can have it. Cheers.
No. So this way, when you're home, not having nothing to do.
Yes.
And then, you know, you like to. You always need to have something in your hands.
That's correct.
So this,
there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
You can talk to yourself.
When you're definitely not hanging out with Magic Johnson, you can be hanging out with
Punxsutawney Phil. Right. All right. What else we got?
Michelle has a whopper of a question that I know how you're going to answer this. Can someone who obtained their citizenship in a fraudulent way have their citizenship then revoked?
Yes. If it is discovered that you fraudulently obtained citizenship. The United States just revoked, I believe, 76 people I read. I read the newspaper article. I don't know anything more about it. You know, I didn't really follow it beyond the newspaper article. But I just read a newspaper article maybe a month or two ago that the United States just went to denaturalize 76 people. They have to do it. I know how it works. You have to go into the U.S. attorney has to go into federal court and make an application to denaturalize you. And they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you obtained your citizenship fraudulently. But it was about 76 people who were aggravated felons who either withheld that information from immigration or immigration just missed it. And they became citizens, and now they're getting denaturalized.
Wow.
That's what I said. Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Mimi on YouTube would like to know, I have a friend who's married and after a year she abandoned him. He's now dating someone and he wants to marry and he has a child with her. His card is currently expired. He is still married, but he has to handle it. How do you advise that he does that?
First step is get divorced, because you can't be married to two different people.
To another woman.
And I'm not sure what you mean by the card expired. Is it a 2-year card? A 10-year card? Are we actually even talking about a green card? You know,
green card.
I assume a green card. You know, why don't you get divorced and become a citizen at the same time? If you have a 10-year card, that means you've been a resident for more than 5 years. So why don't you can do a divorce and do citizenship simultaneously. One has nothing to do with the other. So this is how you handle it. I'm assuming that he has a 10-year card that's expired and he never went to renew it. File your citizenship, file a divorce. Both should come through simultaneously. Now you're a citizen, now you're free to get married, and now you marry the woman you love.
Poochie Poochie says...
Poochie Poochie, Squeeze.
Poochie Poochie?
Poochie Poochie.
Poochie Poochie.
Poochie Poochie says, Mom is a green card holder for 4 years, but never worked from entering the U.S. because of illness. Is that going to pose a problem in filing for her children?
No, because she could always get an affidavit support from the second person, but she will need one.
Okay. Mimi Shake wants to know, I have a friend who married and after a year she abandoned him. Oh, she asked this. I'm sorry. She asked the same question on Facebook and YouTube. Manny says, I have a friend who filed for her DACA since April 2017. How long is she going to have to wait to get approved for DACA?
I think Trump is holding everyone up until the Supreme Court decides.
Something weird is really going on, guys.
Forever.
Check to see if your thing is
My
live.
thing is working. My thing always works, Squeeze. Why, your thing doesn't work?
No, it's just...
I've never been accused that my thing doesn't work.
No, mine
what are you talking about?
It's just, it says,
what?
This live video has
been interrupted.
Yeah.
We're having mine is going live.
Yeah, it says
so
this live
everybody's,
video has ended.
we're obviously having issues with Facebook. And we will get it all sorted out. We're going to ask Kim to speak to our content provider, Switchboard, not our content provider, our content distributor, Switchboard, content distributor, make sure that we're all okay for Monday. But a lot of people obviously are tuning out because I
can tell you right now if it's Facebook.
You can tell me if it's Facebook or not.
Right now.
How are you going to tell?
Give me less
than 15 seconds. Is it down?
Squeeze says give him 15 seconds.
According to Down Reporter,
in 15 seconds, he's going to let us know two things. One, how he can get everybody's credit up, and two, whether it's Facebook or something else.
No.
It is not Facebook.
It's not Facebook. It has to be a content.
It is the content
because
distributor.
if it was Facebook, it would be all over Twitter. All over Twitter. It would be all over Twitter.
The only people having problems with Facebook is us.
It's
nobody else.
I have seen several things about Facebook Live videos being a little wonky
It's
in the
wonky
last
sometimes.
couple of hours.
Wonky.
Wonky.
You can say
Facebook
whatever you want.
Live specifically.
Okay, let's continue.
Westfield asks, I have a social security number and a work permit, but it's expired. How do I go about getting a new work permit? I've been working up here for about 6 years. Can I go ahead and apply for my green card?
No, there's no such thing as I'm working here for 6 years. I had a work permit. I don't have one anymore. I deserve a green card.
Right.
There's no such application as that. So we got to figure out how'd you get a work permit and what are you eligible for now. So you need a consultation.
Ainsworth wants to know, can your wife call immigration on you when you're out of the country and tell them that you've abandoned her?
Sure. What is that going to do? You have a green card. They're going to be like, okay, thank you. You know, as long as you.
I hope he has a good vacation.
I hope he has a good vacation. I mean, you know, what's you know, you ban, you know, it is what it is. Unless there's some sort of fraud involved, and even if it's fraud and they already approved the green card and he has a permanent green card, they're going to do nothing. And if he has a 2-year green card, well, he has to remove the conditions of his permanent residence. That's basically it.
Sophia asks, what happens if you did an interview for your green card and you're still waiting after 4 months for an answer whether you're denied or approved?
Well, obviously there's an issue. At 4 months, you need to contact a lawyer.
Angel asks, my I-90 form was taken from me at the airport, but when I applied for a job, they asked me for it. What do I say?
Why is a job asking for your I-94? I-94 doesn't authorize you to work unless you came here on a work visa.
I-90 form.
I-90 form. They're asking for your green card. So don't you have a stamp in your passport? Don't you have if you don't have a green card and you don't have a temporary green card in your passport, then you need to do a new I-90 and get proof that you're a lawful resident. You have to provide evidence on your first day of employment, not on your first week, not on your first month, but on your first day of employment, you have to show up with proof that you're legal to work in America.
Deborah asks, my mom filed for her children since 2010, and I'm doing their paperwork since November of 2016. It takes 11 weeks to hear from them every time I supply them with papers that they ask for. Is that correct?
No, what's correct is that you do everything right the first time. They ask you for nothing again, and they send you an approval letter. So it sounds like you're not doing what they're asking to do, and they keep asking for more stuff. Eventually, either you'll get approved or denied, but you're really spinning your wheels. You know what? Kim, let's do 1 or 2 more. We have 2 people on hold, and I got to get to Carmela about tax, and we got to get to USA Credit still, and then we'll come back to you at the end of our show with our Groundhog.
That sounds great. Stephanie asks, my husband died. Is it a problem to get my 10-year green card?
Well, as long as you can prove it was a real marriage, it's not a problem. You just have to file for a waiver based on the death of your spouse with proof that you and him lived together for some period of time after you got your green card. And my condolences, but also make sure your name is on the death certificate. You know how many times people get married to foreigners? I see this all the time. And they don't tell the family, even though it's a real marriage and they're really living together, they withhold the fact that they married from their mother, their sister. All of a sudden the spouse dies, and the husband dies or the wife dies, and the other surviving spouse shows up to the funeral, and then there's a whole fight between the family. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? And it's like a Jerry Springer thing at a funeral. And then all of a sudden, you know, they come to see me and they're like, well, the family wouldn't put my name as the surviving spouse on the death certificate. That is, you know, for lack of a more pleasant way to say it, really kills your immigration case as well. So, you know, make sure you're on the death certificate.
McDuff wants to know, as a green card holder in the U.S. for 5 years, how long is it going to take to process your citizenship?
About 9 months.
Okay. Can I squeeze in one more?
One more.
Squeeze in one more.
By the way, do you like what Squeeze calls his team Squeeze people? He says the men are squeezers and the women are
Squeezettes.
Squeezettes. I like the squeezettes. I don't know if I like the squeezers. That sounds a little. That sounds a little.
It sounds a little hashtag me too squeeze.
Yeah. That's what I said. A little hashtag me too. Yeah, I think you got to come up with something better than squeezers.
Squeezers, especially for the men, like all the men are squeezers. Like that sounds
already a little Me Too-ish, right?
No, because with men, when they hear squeezer, it's like squeezing a trigger. So they need to pull the trigger.
No. It sounds like you're doing something to a woman's body and they're really that uncalled.
That's what's in your mind.
Uncalled for, right? Right.
That's what.
Right. It feels like a honk to me, right? It's a honk.
The word squeezer means that you're squeezing a woman's body.
It sounds like a honk, right? Even Kim felt it was a honk.
That is 100.
Kim even felt the squeezer right through, right?
This is what I think of you guys. All
right. Very good. We're number one. We are number one, Squeeze. Remember that, number one. All right. Let's go to Will in Kansas City. We're going to come back to Kim at the end of our show to answer the final social media question. So please leave your questions on Facebook because we're going to come back to Kim in I don't know, about 15, 20 minutes or so. All right. Will in Kansas City. Will.
Good evening, Brad. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I have a question here. I'm about to file for my wife on a change of status, but she has kids from her country. Could I file for her kids before I file for her?
Why would you want to do that? Just out of curiosity. Don't you want to get your wife legal? She's here?
No, she's not legal yet.
Okay. You can file for the wife and kids simultaneously. You can even file for the kids without the wife. Problem is, they're not going to give the kids a green card until the wife gets through.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you can file for both at the same time. And if you file for both at the same time, the wife will get through before the kid's back home. But if you file for the kids and say, forget the wife, they're going to say, what's going on here? Like what I just said. Right. And number two is they're going to say, we have no evidence that this is a real marriage. The fact that the wife gets the green card is the evidence that it's a real marriage, and then the kids will be able to come.
Oh, okay.
All right?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Maureen in McLean, Virginia. Maureen.
Yes.
How are you?
Good night.
Good night.
Yes, I'm good. Yes.
What's going on?
I'm okay. Well, the question I'd like to ask.
Yes.
When your waiver is approved and you got to go back to your country to pick up your visa, if there's a problem?
Is there a problem with that?
Yeah.
If you're asking if you're talking about a provisional waiver, you've overstayed your time and you get a provisional waiver and you go home?
Yes.
There's only a problem if there's some other reason to deny you. The provisional waiver waives the fact that you lived illegally in America. So if that's the fact that you violated immigration laws, if that's the only reason to deny you, then it's no problem. You can go home and come back as long as you get the waiver approved before you leave. On the other hand, let's say you entered the country on a fraudulent document, which, by the way, happens more than people literally running across the border, at least in my opinion. Okay, I think the biggest problem America has in terms of determining who's here and who's not here is that so many people coming on fraudulent documents. Let's say you come on a fraudulent document. And you say, okay, I have no proof of my legal entry into America. I do a waiver. You go home. How'd you come to America? I came on a fraudulent document. The provisional waiver doesn't cover the fraudulent document. Okay? It doesn't cover fraud. So if that's how you entered, provisional waiver is not going to work for you. If you get a provisional waiver, you overstayed, you came on a legal visa, or you entered without inspection, or you walked off a boat, but then you committed a crime while you're here, the provisional waiver is not going to cover the crime when you go home. So it depends on what your specific facts are. But does the provisional waiver work? It absolutely works for the right people. I will tell you, knock on wood, knock on the groundhog, every person I've sent home on a provisional waiver has come back. We don't send people home if they don't come back.
It's an H-2B visa that I overstayed.
Right.
And so
so now an H-2B visa, they came on a legal visa on their name. Mm-hmm. They didn't commit any fraud.
Yeah. Right. No.
I assume they have no criminal record.
No.
So the only thing they've done is they overstayed on their H-2B visa.
Yes.
then that's not a problem. The provisional waiver will work.
Okay, so
All right.
they can go. They got to go back to the country to pick up their
Green card, correct.
Okay,
All right,
thanks.
hold on 1 second. We can help. Hold on.
Once again, folks, the Brad and Squeeze Show. I'm asking everyone to share. We got about 35 minutes left in the show, somewhere thereabouts, or less. All right, and we need people to share. The numbers went up a little bit, but I need more.
Yes.
Yeah, but something is definitely going on with.
Maybe everybody's just waiting for the
Because mine
USA.
just died
Maybe they're
on
all
my
waiting for
page.
the USA credit moment to really
If
light
you
up
had
the place.
started off with USA Credit Repair,
Yeah.
it would have been boom,
Blowing up.
You know?
Blowing up. Why don't you tell them about USA
But
Credit
nobody
Repair?
listens to Squeeze.
No one listens.
No one
Even
listens
the Groundhog.
to Squeeze. You know?
Tell them about USA
All right,
Credit
so
Repair.
ladies and gentlemen, right now it's Friday, but we do have our operators standing by at USA Credit Repair. And I'm saying this to you. Every single person that picks up the phone right now and call USA Credit Repair, we're going to give you a free consultation. But today I want to speak with people who have had bankruptcy, who have tax liens, and who have judgments, foreclosures. These are public records which are on your credit. Guess what? We can definitely get them removed. Specifically and pontificating the tax liens and the judgments, we can get those removed from your credit. But what I need for you to do right now is to call and get more information at USA Credit Repair. The number is 1-800-872-7177. That's 1-800-872-7177. No one needs to see those judgments, tax liens sitting on your credit. And a lot of things people are thinking about, but they think that a lot of people say, oh, I'm not going to call USA Credit Repair because I do have a tax lien. I genuinely do have a tax lien. I genuinely do have a judgment.
It doesn't wipe away the judgment, but it'll wipe it off the report.
It takes it off the report.
That's a good way to do it. By the way, if you have a tax lien, you should be calling Carmela.
I was just about to say, on your tax problems, you can call
Carmela. And we have Carmela, but let's finish up for a second.
But no one should see this judgments and tax liens on your credit. No one needs to see it. So if you call us, we'll get it off for you. So call USA Credit Repair at 1-800-872-7177. Call them right now. If you don't get someone that is going to answer the phone, don't do it. If someone does not answer the phone, don't do it, Brad. If someone does not answer the phone, you call me on my cell, 914-288-LINK.
All right, so let's go to Carmela. We're talking about our tax attorney, Carmela, and talking about tax liens and all that stuff.
Right.
And she has some tax tips. It's tax season, Squeeze.
Yes, it is.
All right, and by the way, your W-2s, I think, are due. If you didn't get your W-2s already, you got a problem.
Yep.
I believe it had to be mailed out already.
Yep.
It's my recollection.
Yep.
So, Carmela, we have about a couple minutes of tax tips for 2018, all good tax tips, and then we're going to come back to Kim and finish up your social media questions. Let's watch Carmela. Tax season has just begun, Monday, January 29th. It's that time of year again to get organized and look ahead to filing such a wonderful form, the 1040, prior to April 15th. And now, with Donald Trump, the orange guy in the White House, slashing taxes for some and increasing taxes for others, okay? It's really not a tax cut, it's a tax change. We have Carmela Walrond with us, tax attorney extraordinaire, to break it all down. Thank you, Carmela, for coming on the Brad and Squeeze Show. So,
thank you for inviting me.
Question for you. W-2s and 1099s, when should people expect to receive them?
Required by law to be mailed by January 31st.
Okay, so they should be getting them in the mail no later than the first week of February.
Correct.
So now when they get them, there's a whole new tax change. What should people be doing in preparation of this tax change? They're going to be getting their W-2s and 1099s if they haven't received them already, and they have to file their taxes by April 15th. What preparations should people be doing in lieu of what Donald Trump and the Republican Congress did in December?
Sure. New withholding tax tables came out in February, and actually February 15th is the deadline that employers are supposed to implement them. So what I would recommend all taxpayers is to contact their tax professionals and tax attorneys like myself to review their W-4 forms, and also have someone like me prepare your tax returns for 2017, so to make sure your estimated tax payments are calculated correctly for the upcoming 2018 tax season for next year, because the Jobs Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, now you said 2018. You can't do anything about 2017. It is what it is. This is what you earned. Right. This is how you earned it, whether it was 1099 or as a corporation or as a W-2 employee. You know, it is what it is, and the tax cuts came and the tax changes came. What can people do if they're getting screwed in 2017? They say, wow, I'm paying more. Or, you know what, I should be paying substantially less, certainly, in 2018. What should people be doing in preparation for 2018?
Sure. It's like, for example, if they receive a paycheck from their employer, they may need to adjust their W-4 form. They need to change their withholdings to 0. And if they're self-employed, you may have to pay more estimated tax payments.
Why do you want to turn your withholdings to 0? That means they would be withholding less money, and then you're going to owe a tax bill at the end of the year? No?
No, not necessarily. It's where the withholdings are higher for taxes from your paycheck. So when you file your taxes for the next year, you would pay enough taxes, and you may be eligible for a refund.
I understand. I thought you meant 0 as in don't withhold taxes. Okay.
No.
I just wanted to be clarified.
Yes.
So give me an example. Okay. Now there's tax structures. You know, especially if you're an independent contractor. You know, some people just get paid and they file that they're an independent contractor. Other people set up corporations. Tell us about the different tax structures and how you've changed people's business tax structures. People who are, you know, sole proprietors, they work for themselves, how you change their tax structure to help them.
Sure. With this new tax bill, they have something called 20% qualified business income, meaning that if you have a sole proprietorship, your S Corp or your partnership, you may be eligible for a 20% deduction on your business income when you file your taxes in 2018. So what I do in my office is I help create certain types of businesses, such as, for example, a partnership or an LLC, meaning that the business itself is not taxed. It's taxed on your personal tax returns. So therefore, you're not paying taxes twice.
And this would
That's very important.
And this would go to basically anybody who doesn't get a W-2.
Correct. Like if you have your own business, you're self-employed, you may be eligible for this qualified business income, this 20% reduction in your business income next year. So it's very important to make sure your tax structure for your business is where you pay the least amount of taxes.
And what tips, okay, all right, that's the tip for the business or the sole proprietor. What tips you got for families?
Oh, sure. For example, if you have a child who does not have a Social Security number, now is the best time to secure one, because starting next year, when you file your tax return and want to claim a child tax credit, the person must have a Social Security number in order to be eligible for the child tax credit.
So give me an example of how you've saved people money recently.
Oh, I mean, regarding offering compromise.
Yes, you save people money all the time.
Yes, I do. I had a client that owed approximately $80,000 in taxes, and I recently got a settlement regarding his taxes for $2,000.
Oh my God! And
he was very, very pleased.
I assume he was very, very pleased.
Yes.
This is money he owed the IRS. He owed $80,000. Somebody else obviously did his tax returns. They owed $80,000. They came to Carmela. Carmela did her wizardry. It's not really wizardry. She follows the law. And as a result, the tax bill went from $80,000 to $3,000. Fantastic job, Carmela. Thank you for all the tips. Thank you for we got the applause. Thank you for all of the tips for the upcoming tax season. You have a lot more tips. There's a lot more changes going on in the tax bills. Everybody who has tax questions, anybody who needs their taxes done, who owes a tax bill even from this year or years past, give Carmela a call right now, 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. Even though it's their busy season, she will definitely get back to you. 1-800-529-5465. Carmela Walrond, always a pleasure having you on the Brad and Squeeze Show. Tax attorney extraordinaire from the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, which is my law office as well.
Of course.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Brad.
That was Carmela, folks. And once again, every one of you out there, it's tax season. Call Carmela right now. Anybody who owe the IRS any taxes, just call and speak with Why is it?
We're on a boat, Squeeze. We just went over a wave. We're on a boat. It's like one of those things. I told Squeeze while we were on, there we go, while we were on with Carmela, what we don't do enough, Squeeze doesn't do, he used to, years ago.
So you want me to go back to be the yelling man?
You used to be the yelling man. He used to be screaming, you would stand up and say, this is Squeeze, damn it!
Because we're sitting down now.
This is Squeeze, damn it! This is the way we designed this.
We don't need to be sitting down.
We need to, what we need to do is do like a stand-up show.
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours. Yeah. Okay, and then you'll be like, why are we standing up?
Yeah.
All right, let's find Kim.
Let's find Kim. All right, but once again, folks, right now, I need everybody to just share. Share for us, okay? Share in the multiple pages out there. Share in the multiple groups, okay? And let's get our numbers
And by the way, Jeff Bossy, okay, he's like, oh, Brad and Squeeze, since this is a tape segment that we're watching, why don't you go and go, it's now time to go pee. And then he goes, time's up. Jeff, we didn't leave our seats here. We've been sitting here the whole entire time, all right?
I didn't get up either.
Okay, I didn't get up, all right?
But see,
we can go 2 hours. We can go 2 hours, Jeff, without
the key to not peeing.
Yeah,
is being like me.
No, I can go 2 hours without. In a cup. Yeah, I can go 2 hours.
Okay, it's your bladder, man.
My bladder.
Do whatever the hell you want to do with it. When you get that infection, you'll know why.
I'm not going to get an infection. Talk about infections.
Mr.
I think you're getting very personal, Squeeze.
You have an infection because you held it.
Yeah, I think. Squeeze, I think you're getting very personal with me. All right, let's go. Let's go to Belgium Kim.
Brad's got an infection.
What the hell is wrong with Squeeze? That's the.
Hold on, Brad.
Watch it. All of a sudden, I'm gonna get like.
Give us some ointment.
Why is Squeeze is walking around with Vaseline in his?
It's not Vaseline. It's lotion.
Why is he walking around with lotion in the studio?
Listen, black people got get ashy sometimes, man.
You just want to get ashy.
Ashy, yeah. Just tell you that.
I have. Obviously, I have.
I embrace my blackness, so I got to make sure I got some lotion sometimes to get rid of that ashiness. You know.
So I do have a confession to make.
What?
Squeeze does have the really good lotion, so sometimes if I'm out, I do sneak into his office and steal his Squeeze the lotion.
You know, it's very funny. Squeeze said to me the other day, he goes, can I get a lock on my door? I don't have a lock that works. I didn't know why you were asking.
You know what? And I swear to God.
I didn't know.
I swear to God.
He asked that for me, and I said, I go, what do you need a lock on? What do you got?
I swear to God. You know what Brad's response was? It's $900 for the lock.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's $900 for the lock. What do you got in there? That's exactly what I said. I said, what do you got in there?
$900 for a lock?
I said, what do you got? I'm like, because the locks that we have are all key cards.
That's his way of saying.
Yeah, we all have key card locks. So every time you put a lock on a door, it's like $900. So I said, what is it that you got in there that's worth $900?
So you're telling me the 50 doors that you have in there with the key cards, that's $50,000.
What?
The 50 doors that you have in here.
We don't have it on 50 doors.
Yeah, that's $50,000 right there.
It was expensive
with taxes and everything.
Right, we don't need 50 doors. Don't need a back for $50,000. All right. All right, Jeff, motion lotion, Jeff Bossy says.
Motion lotion.
Yes.
Yeah, it's.
And Lisa Bling says since we changed our time, we have no viewers, which is not true, because we had over 350 yesterday. I think it's just Friday, and we've had issues with Facebook. Squeeze.
Yes.
I think that seems to be our issue. All right. What do you got for us, Kim?
Okay, Venus asks, my sister's purse was stolen, and her green card was in it. She has a police report and wants to file for her citizenship. Can she go ahead and do it without the green card?
Yeah, as long as she knows the alien registration number or has a picture of it, it's fine.
Maurice wants to know if at the end of the interview you get a notice that you are being held for review, but you haven't gotten any further information and there is no documents required from you. What does that mean?
Probably sounds like you're going to get a second interview.
Avis wants to know, can a citizen married to someone on a visitor's visa can a citizen who is married to someone on a visitor's visa adjust, and if so, what is the waiting time?
Yes, but you got to marry after 90 days, and the waiting time is 9 months. But 1 second, Squeeze seems to be very angry off camera right now. Why are you angry, Squeeze?
No.
What happened?
Nothing.
What happened?
Nothing happened.
Did you just see him just go crazy off camera for a second?
I didn't, because he was off camera.
Everyone in the booth just said, yeah, we just saw Squeeze just go absolutely crazy. That's why they did 2 boxes. They took you off screen because you were going crazy.
It's reaching
Squeeze,
that. It's reaching that time. I'm still waiting for that.
Squeeze is getting hangry.
I'm waiting for that pizza that was supposed to show up at 6:45 as we promised yesterday.
Excuse me, Jill. Can you show the lobster, the picture of the lobster I ordered? Squeeze. Tell him it's on his way. Can you just show that lobster, please? The picture of the lobster. All right. I showed Jill. I said, "You see this picture of the lobster?" I said, "Please get one for Squeeze," and she said, "Yes." Can you show the picture that I showed you for the lobster, Jill? Yeah, they're trying. They're
cooking the lobster.
They're cooking the lobster right now.
They're cooking the lobster.
If it's a lot of people in the comments are saying that it's because I steal your lotion, I'd like to clear for the record that I only do it when the door is wide open and the little thing of lotion is on the corner of your desk, just staring at me. Okay.
Listen, I'm an attorney, and I'm the last person to defend Squeeze. But I will tell you, Kim, his door's always closed, so we don't buy it. We do not buy it. We do not buy it. All right, let's continue. Let's continue.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Jealous Shauna wants to know that everyone's ganging up on me. Oh, there's the lobster, Squeeze, that I ordered for you. I told Jill, I said, he sent me the picture of this lobster. Everyone's ganging up on me on Facebook. They're like, Brad, come on, you got to buy Squeeze dinner. Everybody, Jealous Shauna, Brad, where's Squeeze's dinner?
Thank you. It would be nice.
Yeah, Beverly Thompson's like, it's food time for Squeeze, Brad. Come on. Since what? I don't know. Since when am I your waiter? I don't understand where I became the chef and the waiter here. Just a lawyer answering questions.
That's exactly what you are.
I don't know when I became the caterer for Squeeze.
You're the jack of all trades.
Apparently.
Brad.
Apparently. All right. What else?
Tiffany wants to know, how do you change your address after doing a submission?
An AR-11. But if you change your address, you're going to the back of the line.
Andrea asked, I'm a green card holder for 1 year. I want to file for my 2 daughters who are both over 21 and unmarried and their children. How long is it going to take? I am married to a U.S. citizen.
7 years.
Andrea asks, my petition is by my sister was approved in 2010. When the petition was submitted in September of 2006, which was also the priority date, my son wasn't born yet. He was born in June of 2008. As I'm now waiting for the visa, I've sent a letter to NVC back in January of last year saying that I had a son and providing them the new information. Is there anything else I need to do?
Did they write you, as long as they wrote you back and said the son has been included, that's fine. If you just wrote them a letter without a birth certificate, then write them a letter again and submit a copy of the birth certificate and say, please add my son to this file as an accompanying child.
And they'll send you back a letter that says we have added your son?
Correct, or something to that effect. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but something like that.
Simone asks, I'm a green card holder for 5 years and I'm in the process of currently filing for my citizenship. I'm married to my kid's father for the last 1.5 years and he overstayed his tourist visa. Is that going to affect my citizenship, and can I go ahead and file for him now?
File for him now. It will not affect his citizenship, and when you become a citizen, you'll upgrade it and file the adjustment.
Carol asks, how long is the wait after a VAWA approval? Also, can I travel on my 512 advance parole and return?
How long is the wait after a VAWA approval?
Yeah.
Well, if you did the VAWA the way that I would do it, I would do the VAWA and the adjustment simultaneously, so then when the VAWA gets approved, you get a green card. Sounds like you just filed the VAWA without an adjustment. So now you got to file an adjustment. And that's another 9 months if you haven't done it.
Willie asks, I'm doing a change of status, but I need a waiver. Do I file the waiver before the change of status?
You mean adjustment of status. You file the waiver at the interview when they say you're denied.
Natasha says, I have a friend that started her green card process a few weeks ago, but she said that on the form she was asked if she had worked in the U.S., and she said yes, because she had just worked as a babysitter for some people. She said she just wanted to be honest, but now she's really scared that she has said something wrong, and she's being petitioned for a parent.
Her parent?
By a parent.
By a parent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Under a parent VAWA case.
Under her, okay. Well, the fact that you worked illegally shouldn't bar you to get a green card in that situation.
Ocean asks, my friend wants to know if she can get married to her boyfriend that did some time in prison and still get her green card. So the boyfriend, I think,
Yeah,
is
as long
this
as he's
citizen.
not a sex predator, yes. And he's out of prison, obviously.
Marilyn wants to know, what about if you came here as a kid and got your green card on arrival, your father became a citizen a few days afterwards, but then they deny the child's citizenship. What can you do?
Well, we have to take a look at it. We have to say, when did this happen? If it happened, if you were under 18, if you were over 18 as of February 2001, it's different laws than if you were under 18 in February of 2001. So first question is, when were you 18? The second question is, and you know, at that point, it can go 100 different ways. So assuming you were under 18 after February 2001, you're talking about the Citizenship Act, Child Citizenship Act of 2000 that Clinton did, and you have to prove that you not only lived with your father, he was a citizen, you had a green card. Not only did you live with him, he had to have physical custody of you, which is the living, but also legal custody. The fact that you lived with him doesn't necessarily mean your father had legal custody. Legal custody is done by a court, or legal custody is a matter of law if you're married to the mother. If it's prior to 2001, different laws. So we have to figure out what happened. And I will tell you, many times immigration denies citizenship when they shouldn't, and sometimes they give citizenship when they shouldn't. It goes both ways.
So Rika asks, is it safe to fly domestically when you have an NTA? Can you be detained even if you have an NTA?
You could always be detained if you have an NTA, but what they can't do is put you in deportation twice. Okay, so an NTA is a notice to appear. You're already in deportation. They can't put you in deportation twice. So they know you. They know where you live. They know where you are. You have to show up to court. They can come knock on your door and arrest you. They can arrest you in court. The last thing they're going to do is make a scene in an airport and arrest you at an airport. So my odds are that it's fine. 99.9% fine.
Carol asks, what's the difference with from an I-245 waiver and an advanced parole?
An I-245 waiver and an advanced parole?
Yeah.
That's like asking what's a groundhog and what's an orange. Those are like completely different things. 245I is you have something in the system, a bona fide application filed by you or your derivative beneficiary of a bona fide application filed prior to April 30th, 2001, and you're physically here in December 2000. It entitles you to adjust when you're otherwise unable, as long as you have an approved visa petition that makes you eligible for a green card, and you pay a penalty fee. Advanced parole is advanced parole. It's a travel document that you get after you file your adjustment application to allow you to travel home and come back. That's a groundhog and an orange.
Right. Those are two completely different things.
Yes.
Sandy asks, my friend is married to a green card holder. She lives in Jamaica and he travels really often to visit, and she travels very often to visit her husband. Is this going to affect her when he files for her? She travels like every other month.
To come visit here in America?
Yeah.
It shouldn't. Her only issue is that once he files for her, it could cause her a problem at the airport coming in because she's shown an intent to get her green card. So it's not, the problem is not now it's a problem that he files for her. The problem is he can't travel anymore moving forward. By the way, I see Squeeze. I'm just looking over here. He's on the Papa John's website checking out what toppings to put on. At some point, Squeeze, you got to stop ordering pizza and join the show here.
Whatever you guys feed me,
I don't know why Papa John's is always synonymous with the Super Bowl. That's why I said it.
They are.
Because it's Super Bowl weekend.
But seriously, what are you doing for Super Bowl?
I'm going to.
Why don't we go to Harlem?
Because she's sick up in Harlem. Why would I go to Harlem?
That sounds like a movie. Sick up in Harlem.
Sick up in Harlem.
Sick up in Harlem.
Sounds like a Spike Lee movie, doesn't it?
Yeah, Sick up in Harlem.
Literally, every
I'm Sick Up in Harlem. Directed by Spike Lee, coming to a theater near you.
Yes, Sick up in Harlem. Sick up in Harlem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that does.
I actually saw him at the Super Bowl, Spike Lee. Mm-hmm. I went up and said hello to him because I was a big fan. He didn't really want to talk to me.
Wait, you went?
10 years ago.
You felt offended?
I felt offended. He didn't want to talk to me. He goes, who are you? I go, I don't know. I'm just a guy who is a fan. I don't have any fancy, movie deal or anything. A little radio show with Squeeze on 93.5.
Brad, are you kidding me? That is the classic line to say, do you have any idea who I am?
No,
I said, hey, Spike, how are you? He goes, who are you?
Missed the
I swear to God,
opening.
that's what he said to me. I was so offended. I go, who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just a fan. I just want to say hello.
Who are you? You don't know who I am. You should have been so offended.
Yeah. Ask somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to learn today.
Yeah. You're going to learn who I am, damn it. He was fine. I mean, it was. He didn't actually say who are you, but he kind of looked at me like, who are you?
That seems to happen to you a lot.
Yeah, and then kind of walked away.
Like when you try to take the picture of that dude.
Yeah, oh yeah. So we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that.
No, we're not going to talk about that. All right.
Very famous singer and actor.
Yeah.
Brad's at a restaurant and
all right,
attempted.
come on, stop it. All right.
Oh, you like to lambast, but you don't like when it comes back at you.
I'm not lambasting you.
Oh,
Squeeze loves
man.
that story.
Oh, it's really hard for me not to keep asking for more details now.
Another day.
You see how he doesn't want me to put anything out there?
Yeah, I'm very sensitive.
Oh, you're
very sensitive.
Oh my God! Now you're sensitive.
I'm very sensitive. Yes.
What's the name of that guy?
What?
The name of the guy?
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's continue. All right, you heard the story on the radio a year ago. You can go back and watch it. Let's go.
Natasha said that Harlem does have a Red Rooster, Dino's Barbecue, and an Olive Garden. We also have Amy Ruth.
You have?
Oh yeah.
You have a new roof on
Amy
your.
Ruth.
You need a new roof.
No, Amy Ruth's. Have you never had Amy Ruth's?
No. What's Amy's Ruth's?
It's soul food. It's like delicious, really good Southern food.
No, I don't know.
From a Southern gal.
All right, we'll check that one out.
Amy's List?
Amy
Ruth's. Amy Ruth's.
Amy's
Like,
Roots.
Oh.
No, like Amy Ruth, but possessive.
I don't know. Okay, what else?
Okay, Ripley wants to know.
KFC.
How can I go about and adopt my grandson? He's currently in Jamaica, and I want to file for him.
This is Ripley?
This is Ripley.
Okay,
Believe it or not.
Believe it or not, Ripley. Let me tell you how you do it. You used my joke.
Sorry.
You have to bring he has to be an orphan. So you can't go to Jamaica and adopt him. You got to bring him up as an orphan. That means the mother and father either have to be passed away or have their rights stripped by the courts in Jamaica, that they're not fit to be parents because they can't support the child, they've abandoned the child. It's a whole process to go through, so come see me first.
Rosie asks, if you put in for your citizenship, are you still okay to travel?
Yep.
Teddy says, can I apply for citizenship if I got parole in March of 2014?
What do you mean parole?
I don't know whether it's like a criminal parole or advanced parole.
Meanwhile, we have so many questions. Kim is like becoming the star of the show.
I know.
You believe it? I know. Right?
She's very smart.
Nobody calls on our show anymore. They just ask questions on Facebook now.
It's the long con, you guys.
Yes.
I started back in the summer.
Don't worry, Kim. Next week I'll start helping you out.
Thank you.
Yeah. We can go back and forth.
Yeah, that's how the rapid fire started. It was Squeeze and whoever the SMG was going back and forth. I mean, we were boom,
so
boom,
we'll
boom,
get back to that
because we
next
only
week.
had a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Now we have unlimited time. So now,
we'll do that next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Real says, I submitted my 485 approved VAWA and waiting on an interview. Can someone who's traveling to the U.S. from Jamaica write my name on an immigration form to say that they're visiting me?
Yeah, but what's the problem? You're legal. As long as you're legal, yeah. It's not. I mean, I wouldn't be saying I'm going to visit my, friend who's out of status for the last 20 years.
But they can just write their name.
Yeah, of course.
Name can be anyone's.
Paulette.
It could be anyone's name. By the way, they could say they're coming to see Brad Bernstein.
Yeah.
They're not calling. No one, I mean, now all of a sudden everyone at the airport's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to see my friend Brad Bernstein.
They'll be like, how come so many people are coming to see you?
Brad Bernstein, yeah. What's
Brad Bernstein.
And then they look you up and I'm like, oh, immigration attorney, huh?
Oh, that makes sense.
By the way, I'm talking about, and by the way, I'm joking around. You don't want to lie to immigration. And this is on the form on the plane, I assume, that you're filling out.
Yeah.
You have to put your address where you're going to be staying, and it's perfectly fine to say wherever you're going to be staying. But don't lie, because then you're going to have a problem, obviously.
Paulette wants to know, how long until the conditions of your green card are removed?
How long does that take? It's about 18 months.
Yes. And then I'm so sorry, and I just can't. Smiley wrote a comment, and I'm just going to read it verbatim, and I'm not going to say anything. He tried taking a pic for his daughter, and the flash was on, and security came over.
She knows, right?
Is that real?
Right. Yeah.
Is that really real?
That's really what happened. Yes, and they want to confiscate my camera. Yeah. Yeah, Justin Timberlake was sitting next to me, like as close as squeezes to me right now. So my daughter called me, and I go, "Guess who's sitting next to me? Justin Timberlake." And his wife.
And Gabby went, take a picture.
So Gabby goes, "Take a picture. That's so cool." So I'm like, I don't want to take a picture and bother them.
Well, she meant that you should go over there and take a picture with him, but
yeah,
you decided to take a picture.
So I said, all right, I'll do it on the on the DL. So I just went to, I was like, and I didn't realize the flash was on. The whole restaurant. I felt so terrible for bothering the guy.
Two big burly guys came over.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was like a disaster. So never do that again. Hey, you want to know what? Actually.
You must have turned
Actually,
around.
I was wrong, and they are 100% right, because the guy has his right to his privacy. He doesn't want to be bothered, and absolutely, they were 100% right, by the way. Yeah, I didn't mean to have my flash on when I did.
But you and
I
Brad
was
Bernstein.
just trying to help my, I was just trying to make my daughter happy. Like, oh yeah, send me a picture.
It's fair, but it's
But
also
Brad, there's something such as asking.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine the cold sweat that you must have broken out in this.
I can imagine when
the flash.
Just imagine his face when the flash went off.
Yeah. I didn't know the flash was on the phone. So.
Oh no!
All right. So this is it. Any last questions?
I got two more that were
Okay,
squeezed in at the last second.
Let's go.
Cher asks, "I'm filing married but separately. Will that affect removing the conditions off your green card?"
Yes. Because you're not having a financial relationship with your husband.
I just realized that they were talking about taxes.
Yes.
Married but separately. Kadeen asks, "I'm married to a U.S. citizen. When I'm going to put in my paperwork, can I put my 2 children on it? And if so, how long is that going to take?"
You don't put your children on your paperwork, although you have to list them on your paperwork. Your husband has to file 2 separate I-130s for them, depending on where they are. If they're here with you, they'll do adjustments with you. It'll take the same time. If they're in another country, it'll take a few months longer than you.
And lastly, Sheila says, "Is it necessary to file an I-767 and I-131 together with your I-485 if you do not need to work?"
I-765. The answer is yes, because you'll get a social security number. You can get a state identification number. You need to walk around with things to prove you are who you are. You need a social security number to live in America, whether you're working or not. Yes, file the I-765, because it doesn't cost a penny. You're paying for it anyway.
Okay.
And I can't believe this, but we have gotten through every single question.
Squeeze, I'm going to let you end it.
I'm disappointed that we got through every single question, because it's nice
Me
when you have
too.
a lot of questions,
Yeah.
and lots, But we're gonna fix this, all right? Thank you all so much for tuning into the Brad and Squeeze Show. Don't forget to check it out each and every single weekday at 5:30 for 2 solid hours. We're gonna be here. I want to say thanks to all of our sponsors. Obviously, Spar and Bernstein is a great law firm, in my opinion. I am saying it, so I'm disclaiming that. And when it comes to personal injury, criminal defense, tax law, family law, and much more, one should actually store the number in their phones now. 1-800-529-5465. You now have permission to actually, that phone that you're using on Facebook there, you can turn it off now and store the number. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. And thanks to USA Credit Repair for partnering with, of course, the law offices of Spar and Bernstein to bringing this to you. And their number happens to be 1-800-USA-7177. With that said, prior results do not guarantee similar outcome, but we're going to make it legal. Anything else from you, Brett?
That's it.
Anything else from you, Kim?
That's it.
All right. Okay. Go Patriots. See you Monday.
Go Eagles. See you Monday.
All right. We'll see you Take care.
The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465.
What are you doing?